Good evening, guys. Welcome back to my channel. So I've got a topic I want to talk about today is a Ford Mustang, a good first car. Why or why not? This was my first car. This wasn't my first car, but I had a Ford Mustang before this, and I saved up for it, and I bought it. I was so excited. I didn't think, for a first car at my age, at the time, I didn't think I could get something like as cool as that. You know, I thought I would get something lame and boring, but that was what I got. And I thought I'd make a video just kind of on my perspective. Now, this is a bit more than my last car. I'll try to post a picture of my old car, but I thought I'd kind of give some insight, what I think about it. You know, maybe if you're looking at buying your first car or buying a first car for someone else, who knows. But so I thought I'd talk about kind of just what I think, some of the pros and cons, if you will. And sorry, the garage is a bit messy. Some of the pros and cons, well, there's probably more cons than pros in buying a Ford Mustang for your first car. For me, my first one was the previous generation V6. And it's a little different. You know, this car, for example, has traction control, ABS, you know, a lot of things that some older cars don't have. And that's kind of, you know, looking back, I didn't think it was a big deal back then, but, you know, I kind of do now, especially for a first-time driver. And just for being a rear-wheel drive car, you know, me personally, I think this car would have been too much for my first car, but I think my previous car was okay. One of the big reasons, I think, and just for me, just driving this, I've accidentally almost wrecked it. Well, obviously, accidentally. I almost wrecked it on my own shortly after I got it, just because rear-wheel drive cars are kind of tricky sometimes. You know, if you're not used to them and you get in it for the first time, it's kind of a learning curve. So it had just rained and I was making a turn and I wasn't even going that fast, maybe 10 miles per hour. And it just kicked out on me out of nowhere. And even I had great tires on the car at the time. And again, this car has traction control, but it didn't matter. You know, so there are dangers to cars like this. You know, a front-wheel drive car, I think, is a lot safer for a couple of reasons. Just because you're pulling as opposed to pushing. But probably should walk around a little more. But I think affordability, I think for a great car, or for a first car, it's great in terms of affordability and reliability. In terms of what you can get for the price point, it's probably one of the best things out there. It's okay on gas. It's not terrible, but and it's a fun car too. You know, it's a little different. You know, the car that I had wasn't terribly fast or anything, but it was fun to drive. You know, I had a lot of fun with it. Now, would I have that fun in a Toyota Corolla? Probably not, but it just depends to me on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a car that, again, I think is more fun to drive as opposed to economical. Economical is not really your buying point when it comes to a car like this. It's kind of more fun. Even if it's not fast, it's still fun, you know? So anyway, and believe it or not, they're, in terms of safety ratings and stuff, it's actually a fairly safe car. And, you know, you would be more safe in, say, like a truck or something like that. But in terms of sedan, it's pretty much as safe as anything, to be honest. You know, they're, and also for the price point of what you can get, like a 2003-ish Mustang. Like I said, I only paid $3,500 for my last car, and that was probably one of the best cars that I could have gotten. I mean, when you think about it, so even if it's not fast, at least it looks cool too, a little bit. Not really, but it's something not boring, like compared to like a Toyota Corolla or something like that, you know. But so maybe I convinced some people, maybe not, but so I think if you're looking for a somewhat fun, not too terribly fast that it's unsafe, and cheap car for your first car, I think not a V8 Mustang, but a V6 Mustang, I think is a great choice for someone like a beginner driver, or, you know, just maybe just trying to familiarize yourself with, you know, sports cars, or just trying to learn, you know, like a to familiarize yourself with sports cars and what cheap, reliable, and at least a little bit fun to drive. This is probably your best bet. So if I convinced some people or just shared some insight, like the video, and I'll have more content for you soon. Yeah. Also, for someone, like I said, who's looking for a first car, I think this is a great place to start, or even maybe even look for something similar. So if that helps anyone, thank you for watching.